Imagine you are driving down a dark highway. Outside, it is pitch black. You feel confident, you believe you are in control, but do you realize that at this very moment, you are playing Russian roulette with death? The statistics are staggering. Night driving is 9 times more lethal than driving during the day. 49% of all fatal accidents occur at night, even though night trips account for only 9% to 25% of all traffic. Every single night, 3 times as many people die on the roads compared to the daytime, but the most terrifying part is yet to come. Drowsy driving is a silent killer lying in wait for every one of us. Over a recent 5-year span, driver fatigue was the cause of 18% of all fatal accidents. That is nearly 30,000 lost souls. Every year in the United States, drowsy drivers cause 1.5 million accidents, claiming over 8,000 lives. And these are just the official records. The real numbers could be 10 times higher because driver fatigue is notoriously difficult to prove after a crash has occurred. Why is the night so deadly? There are 3 primary reasons. 1. Alcohol. 70% of fatal accidents involving drunk drivers happen at night. 2. Poor visibility. 78% of fatal pedestrian strikes occur in the dark. 3. Fatigue and microsleep. This is when your brain shuts down for a few seconds without you even realizing it. 40% of drivers admit to having fallen asleep at the wheel at least once. Each of us has felt it, your eyes closing involuntarily, your head growing heavy, your thoughts becoming muddled. Yet, we keep driving. We tell ourselves, just a little further and I'll be there. We believe it won't happen to us, but the statistics are relentless. It will happen. The only question is when and what the consequences will be. In my 10 years as a driver, I had 2 incidents where I survived only by a miracle. 2 times when I fell asleep at the wheel, 2 times when fate gave me a second chance. I've driven through rain, snow, heat, and blizzards. Over the years, you develop a sense of confidence. You feel like you're in control, that your body's used to the strain, that you can conquer any distance. But night driving does not forgive mistakes. It does not forgive overconfidence. And in these 10 years, I've had 2 moments where I realized I control nothing. Moments when I was 1 step away from never waking up again. The first time happened almost at my doorstep. Irony of fate, isn't it? The greatest danger isn't where you expect a trap, it's where you allow yourself to relax. I was returning from a haul. It had been a brutal week, 3 days without proper sleep. My body was running on reserves, on adrenaline, on coffee. When I saw the familiar streets of my city, I felt a wave of relief. The home stretch, just 1 kilometer left, the last turn, the final straight. And then something strange happened. I found myself parked at my entrance. I turned off the engine, but I had absolutely no memory of that last kilometer. There was a void in my head, no memory of pressing the brake, turning the wheel, or passing through intersections. Nothing. It was as if someone had cut a segment out of a film strip. My eyes had been open. I was looking at the road, but my brain was switched off. This is the state of microsleep, sleeping with your eyes wide open. After 3 days without rest, my body simply forced my consciousness to shut down. I was saved only by a miracle. I knew that it erode my whole life, every curve, every pothole. It was a rural road with no fast traffic or oncoming cars. If there had been a truck, if a child had run out, the story would have ended differently. I climbed out of the cab trembling, not from the cold, but from the realization that I had just steered tons of metal while fast asleep. The second story happened out on the highway, and it was even more terrifying. It was 4 a.m., the most treacherous hour for a driver. Your biorhythms are at 0, the darkness is thick, and the world feels empty. The Autobahn was a good road, nothing interesting outside, just white lines flickering under the hood. At first I fought it. I drank coffee, swallowed liters of water, splashed my face with cold water at gas stations. When that stopped helping, I started chewing seeds, pistachios, peanuts, anything to keep my jaws moving, to trick my brain into thinking I was active. But it doesn't work. Sleep is a predator. It crouches and waits for a moment of weakness. Then the sleep began to wash over me. My eyes were heavy, closing involuntarily like lead shutters. Suddenly, a cold, sharp realization hit. I didn't remember a large stretch of the road. The last few kilometers had been erased from my memory. I had fallen asleep at the wheel again, but this time, technology saved me. My truck was equipped with cruise control assistance and lane assist. The vehicle felt that I wasn't steering. As the truck began to drift toward the markings, the system triggered instantly. The cabin erupted in beeps, the steering wheel vibrated, and the truck began to brake and steer itself back into the lane. I jolted awake. Consciousness returned in a flash. A cold sweat broke out over my body. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it wanted to burst out of my chest. When the full weight of the situation sank in, I was terrified. I could have flown off the road into a ditch. I could have flipped. I could have hit the guardrail at 100 kilometers per hour. I pulled into the very first parking lot. I killed the engine. I went to the washroom. The water was ice cold, but I felt like I was burning up. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. For days afterward, I replayed that moment in my head. I imagined what would have happened if that system hadn't been there, if the truck had been older. That thought kept me awake in bed, not behind the wheel. This job is our everyday life. We get used to the danger. Night hauls become routine, but this job can easily kill us. We barely even stop to think that we are exposing ourselves and other drivers to mortal peril. When you drive at night, you are playing roulette, and the price of losing is your life. I have immense respect for drivers who refuse to drive at night. I respect their wisdom and caution. They understand that no amount of money is worth that risk, but not every driver has that luxury. The reality of business is cruel. Often, dispatchers don't care how you get through the night. They only care about on-time delivery. Figures on an invoice, arrival times, the client waiting. There are types of transport where speed is essential day and night, delivery services where every hour counts, or perishable goods like food, medicine, and chemicals. There, the schedule dictates the terms, and the driver is caught between exhaustion and a deadline. But remember, no cargo is worth your life. No dispatcher will attend your funeral. No bonus will restore your health if you end up disabled after an accident. Be careful behind the wheel. Every night for a driver is a challenge against themselves, a competition with sleep, to see who wins, and sleep is always stronger if you give it even the slightest chance. I've made a rule for myself, and I advise you to do the same. If you feel yourself drifting off, if your eyes grow heavy, if your thoughts become muddled, do not endure it. Do not lie to yourself saying, just a little further and I'll be there. That is the lie of exhaustion. Stop, find a safe parking lot, shut off the engine, set an alarm for 40 minutes. This is the perfect amount of time for a power nap to reboot your brain. Sleep, stretch, move your back, move your legs, wash your face with cold water, drink your coffee after the nap once your body has rested. This could save your life. It could save the lives of those driving toward you. The night road is beautiful, but it is cruel. It does not forgive weakness. But the highest wisdom of a driver is to admit their weakness in time, admit that you are tired, and stop. Don't be heroes. Be alive. Take care of yourselves, your loved ones, and those you meet on your path. May your road be bright, and may your sleep be only in a bed in safety.